Inside follows the story, albeit a vague one, of a boy in a red sweater, the only touch of color in an otherwise gloomy world. The game comes from the same creators of the much-loved puzzle platformer Limbo. The game sees the player constantly running from people and often strange creatures who are out to catch you, dead or alive. Inside takes much from Limbo and adds excessive amounts of creepiness and thrills, whilst while building on the excellent playability of Playdead'S games. The storyline is insanely vague, forcing the player to piece together the story as they make their way through the myriad of puzzles and contrasting landscapes. This may not be a bad thing, however, as the game tends to lean more on gameplay than storyline. The theme of death and mindlessness is an ever-present one in the game, so much so that one often questions if they lack the morals and integrity to actually do something that the game is asking of them. Through the tasks the player performs, the game creates a stronger bond with the character, and one can almost feel what he must be feeling, adding another additional layer to a already mind-blowing game. The gameplay is smooth and flows beautifully. There isn't a single loading screen. The movement system is absolutely perfect, with the main character never putting a single foot out of place. Any mistake that happens is purely player related, and I love that about the game. That very element makes the game ideal for speedrunning. The enemies and traps in the game are insanely well designed, and the only entity that ever really repeats itself are the dogs. The player is often forced to make split-second decisions, sometimes based purely off guesswork. Make a wrong move or take too long to decide, however, and you'll pay with your life. The deaths, by the way, are not for the faint of heart. The game is as fantastic to play as it is beautiful. The colors are vivid and rich, and the graphics are absolutely top-notch for a game of its kind. Tessellation and dynamic lighting are a very nice subtle touch and add a certain element of realism to the game. Inside offered the most fun I've had playing a game in a long time. The puzzles were challenging, the backdrops were stunning, and there is loads of humor to be found in an otherwise very morbidly themed game. The last chapter, simply put, is a gameplay masterpiece. It combines all the elements that the game has taught the player throughout, and gives you complete power. I'm such a huge fan of the way this chapter flows, and how it almost seems to anticipate the player's next move. It's a surreal experience which everyone needs to enjoy. Overall, Inside comes highly recommended from myself and the Gear team. We're adding this to the list of must-play games in 2016, and give it an overall score of 9 out of 10. Congrats Playdead, you've created another masterpiece.
Until you find your way back home.